Welcome back to FRCMedia. Keith Tebow, thank you for joining us. We've talked a lot, specifically during the pandemic, about the issues of food insecurity for a lot of people that have been impacted by the virus and what's been happening with the pandemic. However, for many, many, many years, there's been sort of a food insecurity issue with our elders and our senior population. And Bristol Elder Services has been filling that gap. And we're going to talk about their elder nutrition program today. I'm pleased to be joined by Debora Avila-Carreiro. She is the coordinator and the director of the nutrition program at Bristol Elders. Debbie, thank you for joining me. How are you?
Good, and yourself? Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for joining us. This is an important issue. Bristol Elders has been, providing this service for quite some time. Talk a little bit about the basics of the program. How does the nutrition program for elders work? And we'll talk a little bit about eligibility in a minute, but talk a little bit about the program in general.
Sure. So Bristol Elders Nutrition Program serves elders living in Greater Attleboro, Fall River, and the Taunton areas. And the program is available to anyone who's over 60. And it provides nutrition services to assist elders to cope with their daily challenges, including poor diets, health problems, or loneliness. We offer nourishing meals, nutrition screening, nutrition counseling, and education. Right now, we are delivering about 1,250 meals to homebound elders. In the past, we still want to continue with a congregate meal at the congregate sites. What that was individuals who were 60 and over would go to a congregate site and get a nutritious meal, and they would also have the opportunity to socialize. Because of COVID, we haven't done that since March of last year. It's been a year, but we do have some grab and go sites where individuals can go ahead and grab the meal for the day.
So let me just ask you, before you go on. So these meals, are they primarily delivered to people's homes? You mentioned the congregate areas, which are obviously with COVID are not being undertaken. So are a lot of these primarily delivered to people's homes?
Yes. So the 1,250 meals right now that we deliver, those are just the home delivered meals, which is a chilled meal that we provide to them on a daily basis. That is delivered to individuals' homes. We have volunteers that work with us, and we have so they deliver every day. We have 3 sites that the meals go to. They go to a site in Fall River, Taunton, and in Attleboro. And then we have volunteers and drivers that go in, grab the route for the day that they have, and they go out and deliver the meals to these elders in the community.
So let me ask you, the 1,250 or so meals that are distributed, how often is that done? Is that on a daily basis, every other day? I guess how frequent are these deliveries?
Monday through Friday. Our drivers and volunteers go to the site around 8:30. We start, and we stagger them. Especially now with COVID, we only allow so many people, so many volunteers to come into the site and drivers to come into the site. They grab their routes. They normally have the same routes for as long as they're with us. So they really get to know the individuals that they're delivering to. I like to say that we're not just offering a nutritious meal, but we're also offering a safety check. Even during COVID, we did have COVID restrictions. Our drivers and volunteers were wearing masks. And when they were delivering, we asked that they step away 6 feet, put the meal on a door handle, gave them plastic bags so that they could put the meal in a plastic bag, or if the person had a little table or chair outside, to leave the meal there, make sure that the individual came out to get that meal and that they at least said, hello, how are you doing? And if they don't see that consumer that day, they're asked to call the office so that we can call the elder or their caregiver or an emergency contact to make sure that they're okay.
So let me ask you, when COVID hit a year ago, did the program need to take a little bit of a pause, or did it just continue with these protocols in place?
We were really lucky. We did not have to take a pause. We really early on, we started ordering a lot of PPE. So we ordered gloves, we ordered masks, and we just were able to continue delivering. We did change our delivery. We used to be able to, knock, and if somebody called the driver in, they'd be able to go into the home and, do a quick visit with the individual. The visit obviously is a lot shorter. It's kind of just a wave through the window or a wave through the door and, hello, and So that's changed a little bit. We train all of our drivers and volunteers to stay 6 feet away. But if they don't see the person, to call into the office. So that is the only thing that's changed, is just the way that we're handing the meal out to them right now.
Yeah. So that's important to note, that it was still, process and a progress that was still moving forward. Let me ask you, in terms of how the determination is made on whether elders are eligible for the program, talk about how that works.
So an individual has to be 60 years or older, and have a physical, emotional, cognitive impairment, which results in the inability to actually cook themselves a nutritious meal. So if they have that, then they would qualify for the home-delivered meals.
And how are these meals prepared? You said that, there are 3 locations in the cities, Attleboro, Taunton, and Fall River, where the meals come in and then they're, dispersed. How are they made? Is there one central kitchen that makes all the meals every day?
There is. We actually have a caterer that we contract with, and they're out of Canton, and that caterer makes the meals for us. We do send them a count every day, so they know today that we need so many meals for tomorrow, and those meals are going to be made and packaged today for tomorrow.
And making sure that the meals are nutritious and meets the dietary needs of some of the elders. Are those taken into consideration? Like if some elders have issues with diabetes, or they may have an allergy to some foods, is that all taken into account?
That is taken into account. So the meals are actually prepared by a nutritionist, and we are regulated by Elder Affairs. So we have to make sure that each meal has so many nutrients or so many vitamins, and they look at that and make sure that we have so many, the vitamin C and vitamin A, it has to have 1/3 of the daily recommendation nutrients for the day in calories. So our caterer meets with the nutritionist, the caterer meets with the nutritionist and makes sure that we can put those certain items on the menu and what we need to put on the menu, basically. I say that only because with COVID, we were able to deliver, but with the caterer, sometimes we lacked in getting different things in. So we had to make some changes to the menu, sometimes last minute. If we couldn't get potatoes, which were for something that met vitamin C, we had to get something else so that we could meet the same requirements from Elder Affairs. And then if somebody is on a low or a diabetic diet, they let us know, and we let them know that they're going to get a modified diet, which is a low sugar dessert. If somebody needs therapeutic meals, like a renal or pureed meal, they have to let their case manager know, and we would then see if they qualify for that meal.
Let me ask you now, back to sort of a COVID-related question. Over the past year, did numbers increase in terms of the need of elders needing nutrition and needing these meals, or has it been somewhat consistent over the past year?
Our numbers did increase. We saw an increase going into April in the summer, and I think that was because people just, didn't want to go out and shop for their things, so they were actually home. They wanted to self-isolate and not go out. And then our congregate sites also closed, so they weren't able to just go to the congregate site any longer and get that meal. So that is the reason I think that we saw the increase.
So let me ask you, is there room for growth? I mean, if there are some people who are watching this that may feel that they're eligible to get this assistance, is there room for that? And how can people find out more, I guess?
Yeah, there is room for growth. And basically what would happen is they would call Bristol Elder Services. Our intake department would referral department would take their demographic information, and they would get referred to nutrition. We would then call them and go over, do a nutrition assessment with them over the phone, get their demographics, and then ask them some questions about their diet. And then we would probably just, we're set up the home delivered meals. Right now, we are trying to go into the community, but some individuals still don't feel comfortable getting home visits from the case managers. So we could do an assessment over the phone.
Is there an opportunity moving forward when we're through with the pandemic that there'll be more interaction maybe with the drivers and the clients? Because as you said, there was that interaction that was very important that many elders are missing. Are we hopeful that we can get back to what normal used to be?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can. I mean, I'm sure the driver didn't stay for a half hour and have tea, but they could do that quick, 5-10 minute visit with the elders. I hope that we get back to that. And along with the congregate sites, that used to be one of my favorite things, was just like planning events at different congregate sites so that we could have a lot of elders come to the congregate site, get a meal, and then do some type of activity. So I'm hoping that we get back to that soon. I really miss
And
those.
yeah, and I also, I'm sure it helped as well when you had different like holidays like Easter coming up, and
Mhm.
some of these celebrations.
Yeah.
Even St. Patrick's Day, you can do something a little more festive with all the elders. So that's important. Let me just ask you, Debbie, one final time. You mentioned that if elders have some information or are interested in the program, they can call Bristol Elders. What is that phone number?
508-675-2101. That's our main number.
And they can find out information. Just ask about the elder nutrition program, and they can find out more information. All right, Debbie Avila-Carreiro, thank you for joining me, and all the best with Bristol Elders. And we'll talk again soon. I appreciate your time.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
And thank you for joining us today here in FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great day.